Hey, so what up? Welcome to my YouTube channel, Amani's Vibe. I'm a poet and a playwright, multidisciplinary artist, a multi-hyphenate, as they say. And I've been dealing with post-concussion syndrome for 5.5 years now. And I had a relapse a year and a half ago, and I'm just coming out of that while dealing with some other things. And it's definitely not been easy, but one of my escapes was Love Island USA in the summer. And it's so hard to believe that it was in the summer and that it's now almost Christmas. So though I've not been posting about them, because I really have also been learning about the channel, hoping to get monetized one day, how that's done. And the real way it's done is by posting your own content, not copying other people's. So just been trying to figure that out. But I just wanted to actually talk a bit today because talking actually helps me with my memory and my speech and all those things. But because I'm an actor and I did improv, I feel like I'm still able to do that while I'm talking to you, but I am literally dealing with about 10 things just talking. But I can still talk, so that's important. But I wanted to talk about the Gen Zs, I believe they're called, and dating. And I want to talk about Serena and Kordell, give an update, just let y'all know, like, I did post them when they were on the Jennifer Hudson show. Then they both starred in the Summer Walker video, like literally, it was like their Love Island scene in a music video. I posted about that too. Since then, I mean, they are just both booked and busy. Kordell doing Cheez-Its fantasies for college football. Serena, I mean, she's always doing something. One thing I can tell you, their future plans, Serena wants to work on like, I guess, hairstyles, different hairstyles for young women. And it's something she said because, like me, I've also always done my own braids and my own hair. And she said, like, she wants to come up with like hairstyles that are quick and easy. And if you follow her, she literally has a different hairstyle, whether it's a wig or braids. She just has something new all the time. She never has the same look. She's always looking fresh and fly. You know, I'm old school. I say those words. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. And I believe her. Like she is so mature for 25. It's amazing. And she's got her stuff together. And Kordell as well. I mean, I feel like the two of them separately have been preparing for this their whole lives. Not knowing that Love Island would bring them love and getting one of the best agents in the States, but they were just ready to go. And I know that they both struggle with adjusting to their personal life versus their online life, but they've done it really well. Serena from day one, and I feel like the way Serena does it, other people that were on Love Island are adapting it. Meaning you don't have to post and show everything. Serena's really good. She disappears. They go crazy on Reddit, like, where is she? Where is she? But she doesn't let them know everything. So then her and Kordell will just like pop up with new things. Kordell too is doing great. He was just in another huge fashion show back home, and with, I believe her name is Kay Daniels. I started following her from when he did her fashion show for New York Fashion Week. She's awesome. Yeah, and he was just rocking all different styles, and he's got the hair out and everything. Serena was there supporting. And so now they're both, well, the last they were both home. I don't know. I haven't checked back. But he moved to LA. Yeah, he's home now because he was there for his mom's birthday, and he's there with the dog. But he moved to LA. They're not too far from each other. They're always at each other's places. They have a really, to me, such a solid relationship. And to be honest, you know, I'm really a huge fan of Serena and Kordell, but I do also kind of see what's up with the other couples. And Janae and Kenny are going strong, and Miguel and Leah. Leah's in Dubai right now. Miguel is in London. He's back home in London town. Um, um, Janae is in Turks and Caicos right now with her bestie and Kenny. She's living her best birthday life. She's celebrating her birthday. It looked like in different countries, states. So she's having a great time. And it's interesting to, I always go back to this point. I don't know when things are going to change when it comes to the aspect of race and reality shows. But the arc of Serena's story and Kordell's story and Leah and Janae, none of it was supposed to happen. And if the producers had it how they wanted to, well, Leah, I think, would have still been in the story with Rob. And there are people still trying to ship that. Like, it's over, right? She's with Miguel, and all three couples are completely in love, very supportive of each other, and they have really navigated like coming out of this, getting agents, and maintaining a relationship and keeping things for themselves, and then dealing with the craziness and negativity of the internet. Now, from what I gather, Janae and Kenny seem to get the most hate. I'm not sure why, but they get the most. Leah, I think she left Twitter. I'm not on that platform, so, and I'm not much into the negativity. So I think she left there just, I mean, and she has millions and millions of followers. What else can I tell you? Yes, Leah started her clothing brand, and it's going really well. Who else? The other folks I don't really follow, but I kind of know what's happening. But definitely Serena and Kordell are my top two faves. And I think I was also fascinated by people's response to Serena, because at first it was very negative. I know. I was even mad at reviewers. And then it was super positive, and it reminded me of when Justine was on the show too. Like, people really riding for their sisters, or as they say, their dark-skinned sisters. And it's just interesting, the fans versus the producers. And I know from way back, I've mentioned before that I watched, there used to be a guy from the Bahamas, and he used to be on The Real World. So I don't watch these shows at face level. I know that the producers show things to put people in a certain light. I know that. So even when I see, like, I was crushed too with the dance challenge, but I know that everything is not as it seems. And I think it's sad that all three of the couples are from different cultural backgrounds. It's amazing. I mean, there's like African, Portuguese, Persian, African American, and I can't. Where's Kenny from? The Dominican. I think he's from the Dominican. If he's not, I'm sorry, Kenny. But that's incredible, and that I don't think that's ever happened, and I don't think that's what they wanted. And you see it. You see it throughout. I don't know what's going to happen with season 7. So because as an older auntie, I watch Love Island, and I just recently found, did I find somebody else my age who watches it? I have nobody to talk to this show about, y'all, just y'all. But I think because I was looking them up and I follow Serena and Kordell, I somehow ended up in the, what do I call it? The universe, or the parasocial atmospheric, I don't even know. But I somehow ended up in the world of Halle Bailey and DDG. I'm not sure how I ended up there. I know Chloe X Chloe X Halle, Chloe X Hale. I don't know how you say it. I've loved them for years. I saw them sing because they're classically trained, and I actually thought they were British. So I feel like I just learned they were American recently, and I was aware Chloe had launched her solo career and that she loves St. Lucia. You know, I see things, right? But Holly, you know, Halle, is it Halle? Listen, I'm going to, Halle Bailey, Halle Berry. Yes, Halle Bailey. I just ended up somehow in the world of them and Halo. I don't know how I got there. And I was confused, like, why am I getting these posts? But I guess they link, you know, they link things, I guess. So completely different to Serena and Kordell. Here's what I'll say. What the reason Serena and Kordell have also been fascinating, especially Kordell. He's the man, 22 years old, the maturity, emotional maturity of a man that I hope to meet one day. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing I really noticed with him, and that is he's always vying for Serena. She's his ace girl, his number one. He never talks bad about her, and he never lets anybody talk down about her. He has her back all the time, all the time. And that's what's incredible to watch, actually, for being so young. And I love that he's so emotionally mature, and then that he's also hilarious too, you know? But I see that how he has her back, and it's real love, and you just don't. I'm such a romantic. I want them all to stay together forever and get married. I don't know if they will, but what a journey we've all been on. So then that leads me to the world of DDG and Halle Bailey. Holly, you know, this is a tongue twister. Halle Berry. Is it Haley? Halle Bailey. No, it's Holly. It's Halle Bailey, okay? I'm going to call her HB and DDG. I'm just going to cut it like that. So I ended up in the world and the baby Halo, and I don't know why. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why are these young people all up in my feed? Who is DDG? Was it Sam Care Money? Anyway, I did a deep dive. Google, YouTube's. So I kind of got the picture. Now, I saw The Little Mermaid on one of my flights, and I remember all of the backlash for it. The backlash seemed to be in America because it debuted in the UK, and they loved it over there. Because I follow the Cabs family, and even little Malia got to interview some of the actors from it. So it didn't seem to have that negativity that it had in the States. And the negativity started in the States way before the movie even came out, because I can remember posts about it, I feel like a couple of years ago. It was crazy. And it shows you just how much work we still need, and how much education we still need, and how, you know, as we're trying to break cultural barriers in film and television and theater and all these places, that people still get up in arms about things that they see as, you know, this should be Eurocentric. There should only be one version of this. I actually liked the film. It was cute, you know. I also saw her in The Color Purple. I don't think I knew she was in The Color Purple. I went to see that in the theater by myself, I think, last Christmas. So, and it was, I love the music. I love the music for it. Anyways, so I'd say that's all I knew about her, really. And then she was popping up on my Instagram. So her songs and stuff, and Chloe, they were just popping up, but I wasn't paying much attention. So then this baby, Halo and DDG and HB, everything started popping up more till I was just like, what's going on here? right? Then I think just as I was trying to understand, but I just got hooked on the baby Halo. What a beautiful child. It's like he's been here before. Very attentive, very demure, very mindful baby. But so I was just looking up all the Halo videos. So then I learned from that she hid her pregnancy at first, and a lot of people do that. And Halle Berry never showed her children. There's a lot of people in Hollywood that are famous that don't show their children because they just end up getting exploited, and it's all this stuff with the paparazzi. It's just such a different world. So I understand why she did that. And I knew nothing about DDG, so I had to really understand, like, I'm on YouTube, but I'm in my 50s. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I follow reviewers for Married at First Sight and Love Island, and that's kind of my YouTube, adventuring as an artist. I've always had a YouTube channel. I started doing reviews on Love Island, just that I admire Queen and Chloe and the people that do reviews full time and just watch shows. And I mean, it's amazing. I couldn't do that, but I love that they do it. With me, it's like Love Island USA, Married at First Sight. And because I just switched my cable providers, I didn't know that I can't watch Married at First Sight. I didn't know that I didn't have Lifetime. And so I think that's why I'm talking about DDG and HB. So from my understanding from the outside looking in, okay, because when I started looking, I was just looking at Halo, like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And then there was like a breakup. It was like, oh, they're a couple. So I was trying to, look up videos of them and understand the relationship. I could see there was a lot of money spent on lavish vacations. But I didn't really know anything about DDG. And then suddenly there was a breakup. And then people were saying they didn't really break up. And DDG made a whole announcement. But HB seems to be she's very quiet. She's strong though. But I think because she was a princess, people treat her like that. But I think I think she's pretty strong. So as I went deeper into my dive, learning about the posts he made on Twitter, so I started to learn about some of the things that weren't so positive. I had to switch positions. My legs were starting to cramp up. Anyways, yeah, so I started to learn about things he did. So people were saying that he doesn't really love her because every time something was going on at the height of her career, they said he would do things to ruin it. When the movie came out, and he said something, I guess, about the guy she had to kiss, and he was writing to his ex, and she posted the tweets or the messages, whatever. So I had to look into those things too, and then I had to understand who he was, like that he's been a YouTuber doing this since he was in high school. That he's a self-made millionaire, that he's on the Forbes under 30 list for being a millionaire, which is amazing. That he comes from a completely different world than HB, but I feel that the arc of his career and the way it's going financially and the things that he's getting into, that they, to me, would have eventually met anyway. Now, I learned that he DM'd her. That's how they met. She didn't DM him. He DM'd her. He's talked about it in interviews. And she knew who he was because she's been following him. And then they had their date, and the rest is history. But they were together for years before they had the baby. And the discourse seems to be that people felt that her having a baby meant it would be the end of her career. No, and it won't be, because she's smart. She's smart, she's beautiful, and I think she has a good head on her shoulders. I honestly, like I said, I had to go back to see like all the names, like his real name. His name is Moo, and then Woo Wop, and I can't remember his brother's name. So I had to do research. Like I was like, who are these people? So then I learned like he's a self-made millionaire and has also helped his family become millionaires, like make money from this, like being on the internet, doing social media. It's absolutely incredible. He's 27. He has his own clothing line now. I know that he did a launch and that everything sold out. And then he really wants to make his career as a rapper. So it's hard for me, all the cussing, y'all, you know. And the N word. I'm like, oh my gosh. Halo. Halo can talk a little bit. Halo is just going to be saying all these words because DDG talks to Halo like Halo's 25. And it has been interesting to see that his love for the baby, it's sometimes scary because it's like, does he know Halo's like a baby? Because he treats Halo like Halo's 25. And like they won't be going to the club. And he's done all these things to traumatize the child. And I know some of it is for content, right? Like I get it. But a lot of people don't understand him. They don't get it. And from what I've, researched and looked up his other girlfriends, all of that, Ruby Rose, his ex, he's helped her, like what she's doing. People who don't know who he is, I think that he is trying to like get fame from dating HB. I don't think so. I also think looking at the grand gestures, that's his thing, financial things, because he came from Pontiac, Michigan. See, I did my research, and he's a self-made millionaire. So I find that his focus is very much more on the monetary things, brands, and that. I'm so not into that stuff. But I think as he continues to evolve, this is what I hope. He has so much potential, whether of moving out of the world of social media, I feel, into film and TV. He may not make as much, like how he went to school, he went to university, and he was like, what am I doing here? Yes, and he was a high school valedictorian. Know that story. But he's very smart. He's very smart. And to figure out how to make money from Snapchat, YouTube, kind of all these social media platforms to become a millionaire, that is not an easy feat. It's not easy. So, yeah, I don't know. And so I guess the big controversy came up when DDG went to Kai's house. But I'm like, isn't Kai's house like, is it in Atlanta? I'm not sure where it is, but where he took the baby in a leather bag to a live stream, and HB wrote on there in public that she would not like to find out where her baby was with the rest of the world, that basically he could have told her, and she's dealing with postpartum depression and the whole thing. And you could see on the live stream when he actually got that message and ignored it, or when Kai, you could see when they saw it. That whole thing turned into people attacking HB and saying, but here's the thing. It's like me watching Married at First Sight and me watching Love Island. I watch Love Island USA every season. But this season, there was a new group of people, I think that show, the Vanderpump Rules. That whole audience is now watching Love Island. They come with a whole different set of rules, a whole different outlook on the show. They brought more people to the show. And there was just like so much craziness going on that I'd never seen. And the show reached such a height of popularity, I believe, because I don't want to say her name wrong, Maddox was the host, you know? And that's how I feel. That's what's happening with DDG and HB. Two completely different worlds, two completely different audiences. You know, there's the people who follow HB, her career, her music career, which she's had for many, many years. And there'll be people that don't even know about her. They might just know about The Little Mermaid. They might know about The Color Purple, but she's done so much more than that. And her sister have been singing together for years, okay? So that audience, that music audience, is very different to the DDG online, live, Twitch, Snapchat, all of those people. Even me, I'm like, it's so much, it's a whole other world. And the people in that world are really into that world. They're not going to be following HB, right? They're not going to be following Halle and her career and her singing and her acting. She's going to be an anomaly to them, and all the people in HB's world, DDG is going to be an anomaly to them. And that's what I see is happening. Two completely different worlds have come together. And when she made that tweet, I think that DDG has done things like this before, and all of Halle's friends have come after him for what he's done. And I think she was frustrated for whatever reason. And he probably ignored her. He seems like he knows how to get under people's skin. Whatever is going on behind the scenes, we don't know. And she did that. And I remember who else did that. Remember when Keke Palmer went to the Usher concert and her man wrote, "But you're a mother." And it turned into a whole thing. But Keke dealt with that. Well, Keke didn't even respond to that. She made t-shirts that said, "But I'm a mother." She did a video with Usher. She just turned that into something positive. She never really dealt with it head on, right? And I feel like in this case, I couldn't understand the hate towards Halle. I was confused. Like, people were like, he's the father. He should be able to do what he wants. You post a baby too. But this is what I think. Yes, that baby Halo. This is my opinion. So DDG, if you watch this, because I know that he goes on other. I've seen somewhere where somebody's responding. I'm like, I think that's him. I know that he reads stuff. He listens to things. He's very smart. But what was I saying there? I feel like the backlash towards her there's just so much anger towards her. I didn't understand it. I really didn't. I was like, but she shouldn't have put it on there. But maybe that was the only way to get his attention. I don't know. I'm not in their romance, right? And then she had to make a statement and backtrack and say she has postpartum. You know, she maybe shouldn't have done that. But I think it's very different. A live stream, to me, with millions of people, is different to her posting her baby sometimes on Snapchat. From what I understand, Snapchat, it's like 24 hours. It disappears. Or she posts a little bit on Instagram. She's probably posting a bit more, but I think she probably wanted to hide her pregnancy, keep the baby's face a secret, probably for longer. But DDG is in this world, like out there, live all the time. This is his career. This is how he earns money. And now Halo, he's got Halo out there. We all I know about Halo. I know Halo's birthday is December 22nd, and he's going to be 1 year old. And I'm not even online watching things that much. I saw when he did the interview and said the date wrong of when the baby's real birthday was and Halle's face. Because I think they were trying to make it seem like he was born in January. So that's all over with now. But he then had to make a statement, DDG, telling people not to come after Halle, that she's dealing with postpartum. You know, basically, it's hard. It's hard for me because these two couples are so different. These two Gen X couples are so different. They're around the same ages in a way, but very different approaches to relationships. Both very much in the public eye. One launched into the public eye. But what I think personally, I think they're still together. I think she does work on making sure, though, she keeps her individuality and she keeps things for herself, though they have a baby together. When I look at the videos of them, they really look like they're in love. I do not think he's using her for clout. I don't think he's using the baby for clout. This is just part of who he is. It's part of his persona. I don't know if he can change that, but I do think that he has to for them to exist together. I really do. I think that and I feel that as all these things keep happening that cause different types of backlash for both of them, that I don't know if this is something he's been doing since he was in high school and he's 27 and it's made him a millionaire. I don't know how he changes that, but I honestly feel the skills he has are amazing. He's got fashion, right, under his belt. He's a writer. He's a rapper. I want to say I do not love his raps, but the raps where he kinds of sings, like the song I Fell in Love with a Mermaid, and there's some other ones where they're kind of like a softer type of, it's almost like singing rapping. I love those. I can listen to those, even with the cussing. And you can see the influence of him on her with her song, I Love You, Babe, and the little bit of the rap and stuff in there. Like, to me, that comes from their two minds, their two worlds coming together. So I honestly think that if I use the word they love on the internet, they have the makings of a power couple, but they have to decide who's more important, each of them individually or the internet. I feel like DDG has to decide if he's going to change his career moves and get them to evolve into other things. I think that as smart as he is, there's another young guy, Swaggy C, that was on Big Brother, who's multi-millionaire. He's a trader. See, I follow these young people. Him and his wife, Bailey, they're in Dubai now. They have 2 kids. But I feel like Swaggy, he talked about that too. I've heard DDG say some similar things too about what seems like a lot of money before you have it. And then when you're a millionaire, how that is. I feel like Swaggy C, I feel like he has really, and also very young, but I think he has really figured out who he is and how he's going to present himself in the world. He teaches his courses. He has some stuff online with his wife. And I feel like that compromise has to happen. I'm sure that Kordell and Serena talked about how they're going to present themselves when everything was just boom, they're just this famous couple. And I feel like HB, I feel like Halle is very private. I feel like she's private and public, like she's both, right? And DDG is really public. And people, her fans, like I said, they do not understand him. So those are my thoughts. I just feel like there has to be a compromise, and I think he is realizing it as everything becomes a controversy that he does. The content that he did before with women, he may not be able to do that anymore. I don't know. I heard Halle say she couldn't be on the show The Ultimatum because she's too territorial and she'd be too jealous. I don't watch The Ultimatum, but I'm thinking that watching him do content with other women is also going to be very difficult. But it's their life. All I can do is hope the best for them. They have a beautiful baby, Halo. He's beautiful and he's smart. They both love him to the moon and back. And I think, like I said, they have the makings of a young power couple, but they each have a lot of compromising to do, you know. And as an older person looking at it, like it's like I said, they're just such different worlds that they come from. And I do think their worlds would have collided later on. Like, had he not DM'd her and he keeps working on his career, somebody's gonna cast him in a film, somebody's gonna cast him in something. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen with what he's doing. He's acting, right? And he's writing. These are scripts, right? And he's a natural at it. And with her career, I think they would have met. I think they would have met on a set, backstage at a fashion show. They were going to meet. I feel like it would have been inevitable in the world of Hollywood, California. But he DM'd her. So I just think, yeah, it's about compromise. I like them. I've grown to like him because I knew nothing about him, but I see his love of family and his family values. And I see that. And I know that they're still together secretly because I figured out some things, right? So they're still together, but they're saying they're not together because I feel it's too much hassle, them saying they're together after the breakup announcement. I feel that announcement was him trying to do damage control. And there's so many videos on him and who he is, and he's a narcissist. There's so many videos. I honestly don't think it's that deep. I just think they're young. And I think he's young. And I think that's it. I honestly want the best for them as individuals and for the baby. But like I said, compromises. I don't know. This from a single sister in the 50s. Who's going to listen to me? But that's it. Just wanted to share my thoughts on those two couples. I'm so glad that Serena and Kordell are still going strong. I look forward to hearing whatever big news is coming up. I know Serena's got something cooking. And that's it. I just wanted to talk about this. I mean, is anybody else watching DDG and Halle and still following Serena and Kordell? Have you been relying on me to post things? I've just been dealing with life stuff, y'all, and sometimes life has to take over, you know? That's how it is when you're on the internet. And since I can't watch Married at First Sight, I thought this would be like kind of a good way to share some thoughts with my audience. And that's what's up. Thank you. If you like my style, though it's different, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe. And that's what's up.